Oh man, Phil of the Future was my jam back in the day. 2004 to 2005, I would have been like 16 or so, and this was one of those shows I could not wait to get home and watch because I was a very well-adjusted high school sophomore. Everyone else was busy trying to sneak wine coolers into parties or whatever. Nah, man, I was sitting there front and center watching Phil of the Future and Tenchi Muyo, you know what I'm saying? This show was just complete bonkers. But I didn't care because I had the biggest crush of all time on Keeley, played by Allie from Allie and AJ, who went on to do Easy A, and somehow has only gotten hotter since. It's crazy. What kind of Cthulhu demon are you and Marissa Tomei making contracts with? Because y'all are not like the rest of us. But anyway, I was looking back through the list of Disney Channel shows that I haven't made videos about, which has actually gotten really short lately. But still, like, how have I not done a video on this one yet? So come on, kids, let's talk about Phil of the Future. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN is an app and browser extension that lets you change your IP address to be pretty much anywhere in the world you want. Now, what this means for you is it protects you from websites and other users trying to snoop on what you're doing and from where. Maybe your country has some like weird, strict content censoring laws, or you just don't want people to potentially hack your accounts. Well, Surfshark VPN can help you with all of that, but it also has a lot of very practical day-to-day uses, like allowing you to watch the Netflix libraries from almost any country. Fun fact, Slovakia has by far the highest number of movies and TV shows you can watch, with over 7,400 titles compared to 5,800 in the US. And all you gotta do is just install Surfshark VPN and tell it to put your IP address in Slovakia, and there you go, you have access to an extra 1,600 titles. Or Japan and Taiwan have the biggest anime libraries on Netflix, so using Surfshark VPN, you can have access to all of that. Or in the reverse, if you're traveling away from your country, you want to stay up to date on a certain show you're watching or whatever, you can use Surfshark VPN to put your IP address in your home country, and then wham bam bam, there you go. It's quick and easy to sign up and install, and only costs $2.49 per month with a 2-year subscription. And so it barely costs you anything, really, and gives you access to all of this. And get this, you can use a single subscription on an unlimited number of devices. So let's say you and 4 other family members, y'all want to pitch in on one subscription. That means you get all of this for 50 cents a month. So click my link down below. You're gonna get 4 extra months added to your subscription. So click my link and sign up today. Okay, back to the show. The first episode of the show on Disney Plus anyway, the family's woken up by some strange kind of sound from the kitchen.
You're coming with me. Well, looks like something really enjoyed my lasagna.
Don't flatter yourself, Mom.
I want to slam down one of these bad boys for a little late-night pick-me-up.
Yeah, leave the other one out too, Dad. I could go for a little mash myself.
What is happening? So the story of this first episode is that a caveman has followed them back from time traveling and has been hiding in their house for a while. This would probably make more sense if I explain the show itself. So, Phil of the Future is about this family who travels back in time from the year 2121 to sometime in the 2000s for a time vacation. Just taking in that post 9/11 glow, you know what I mean? But the time machine breaks down and now they're stuck here. This isn't actually really explained in the show like at all. It's just in the opening song that they tell you like what the show is actually about. Until we get to the 10th episode, which is actually the pilot. 2000s Disney Channel was just the Wild West, I tell you what.
Kids, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to fix the time machine. So your mother and I decided to enroll you in school.
All right. I'll start in your 7th grade. Then, I'll begin my slow but steady rise to power.
Yeah, sure, that's cool or whatever, but more important, where the heck did this house come from? How the heck do you just show up from the future and they just like hand you a 4,000 square foot house in the suburbs? They were just giving these away back then. Man, I can't believe I didn't invest in real estate back in 2004 instead of just being 15. Psh, idiot. So Phil and his little sister have to go to school now, but of course they have no idea how anything works.
And who are you?
Phil Diffie. I'm new here. X equals 9.
Actually, that's exactly what it is, Tia. Pleasure to have you in class, Phil.
Well, it's great to be here. I love math.
Frickin' nerd! One common theme throughout the entire show is that because Phil is from the future, he knows so much more about math, science, and technology stuff than everyone else. You know, like he's from the future, therefore he's good at math.
Like to try our extra credit problem? It's for math lovers only.
Well, I guess I could give it a try.
Which is just so hilarious to me, because like I remember back when PCs were the hot new thing, and we literally had computer classes on how to use them, playing Jumpstart 5th grade and Zombies. I tell you, it was a heck of a time. And now computers and smartphones are more ubiquitous than ever, and like no one knows how to use them. In fact, scientific and technical knowledge has regressed so far that we have to remind people that yes, the sky and moon are real. By 2030, the new TikTok trend is just gonna be repentant bloodletting. Anyway, so he's so smart because in the future, school is like this.
Hannibal assembled his army of elephants and prepared to cross the Alps. We'll be right back with the conquest of Europe right after this.
Doesn't history make you thirsty? It does me. That's why I reach for a nice, refreshing cheese Yola.
Sparkling soda.
Which, at the time, this was probably like this hilariously absurd idea about the future, TM. And yet, this was school for a lot of kids just a couple years ago. Now, the plot of this pilot episode is that Keely is really bad at math, but she needs to pass her algebra test. Phil is good at math, but he's the new kid and a total loser as per the pre-assigned high school cliques.
You were in way over your head. I was? Don't tell me you didn't have cliques at your old school. My old school?
Oh, sorry, this is Seth, by the way, another local loser who takes Phil under his wing.
After the popular kids, there's the football team. Followed by the ski squad. The student government kids.
Yeah, like these are the kids with Razor flip phones, and these are the kids with Nokia bricks. And these are the kids who bought Zunes and made it their whole personality for a solid 6 weeks. And then these kids are really bad at eye contact, but really good at DDR. But so, with no other choice, Keely asks Phil to secretly help her study for her super difficult brain-melting algebra quiz.
How do you solve for y? Remember, the olive is 1.5.
Multiply by the olive?
Yes, so 2 radish times 1 olive equals...
3 celery sticks.
Yes!
So, the insanely difficult algebra test you're studying for is just about 2 times 1.5 equals 3? Now, right in the middle of this study session, Keely's other friends show up, including Brenda Song. I didn't know she was in this show. Why is she so small? Anyway, so they show up suddenly, so now Keely has to kick out Phil before anyone sees them hanging out together. Now, Keely feels bad about using Phil to help her study and then shoving him out the door first chance she got, which is how you know this is a fictional show. And so the next day, Phil's hanging out with Seth at lunch again.
I had the naughtiest dream last night.
What? And that's when Keely apologizes to Phil for being such a B-word.
I got a B on the algebra test. I know it's not an A, but it's not a D. My mom's so gonna want to put it up on the fridge. I'll probably let her. Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks.
I just want to say you're welcome.
Also that I'm sorry about last night. I was really rude.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, it's okay, Keely. You're really pretty and you're one of the popular kids, so you've probably never had to face any actual consequences for your actions, so like, why start now, you know? But all the same, now Phil, Seth, Keely, and Tia are best friends. And that's pretty much the end of the pilot. There's also this B story about Phil's sister in 7th grade.
Okay now. We've been in school for less than a month. And already I'm missing 9 pounds of chalk.
Huh, that's weird.
And I'm in a good mood today. Heard from the wife.
What even was this show? But yeah, so the show goes on. It's basically just like any of the other kind of like fish out of water stories. You know, like Phil's family has a bunch of weird, goofy future customs, like Unification Day.
Hey, got peace?
You bet you, Dad.
Unification Day, best holiday of the year.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna add that finger thing to the list of weird family stuff I'm glad my parents never made me do. So, Unification Day is the day when world peace was finally achieved in like the year 2090 or something. And so they have all these things they do, like whatever the heck this is, or making special food, or playing games like laser squash. At school that day, Phil gets in trouble for using the wrong bathroom.
This bathroom's for 11th graders only.
My dude, you are 34. But turns out Seth is allowed in here because he's the designated bathroom butler.
Seth, what are you doing? Oh, I'm the 11th grade restroom attendant. Thanks. And a good day to you too, Your Grace. I'll see you after lunch.
Now, this is very subtle, but the tuba sound here implies that this is a poop joke. More on that later. Also, like, maybe I'm reading too much into this, okay? But Seth, right?
Now, Seth, I don't mean to be critical, but you're an attendant in the 11th grade restroom.
For sure?
So, don't you worry that those guys are just using you?
No. They're my buds. And plus, the insight I get from them about life is invaluable.
Is he supposed to be, like... Is this like... Am I just totally wrong here? Like, this is one of those things that at the time you don't really think much of, but then watching the show back now, 20 years later, it's like... Anyway, so because Seth is the bathroom guy, apparently, he gets invited to an 11th grade party.
Wasmer. You want to buy the big party tonight? It's at my uncle's warehouse. It's gonna be nuts.
I bring my, posse.
Well, you are doing a solid job in the bathroom.
Hey, thanks, man. You too.
Why not?
Just had a daydream that Seth got us into Chip's party.
Do you know how often 9th graders get invited to an 11th grade party?
Well, 9th graders like you two often get invited to all kinds of things you should not go to. Wow, I can't believe those college guys invited us to a party. They probably think we're cool and mature and want to be our friends. And so later, they all go to this party, which of course is just like this insane thing that no high school party would ever be, or so I choose to believe. But then, what do you know, something goes wrong.
Wasserman. Yeah, he's out here.
It's showtime.
We got a gnarly situation going on in there. I hope you brought a plunger.
Got it.
Yeah, so, totally serious here. The plot of this episode is that someone takes a dump that is so huge, the party might get shut down.
Excuse me. This is bad. I've never seen anything like it. It's like trying to cut down a tree with a butter knife.
Trust me, I wish I was making this up, but no, this is actually the episode.
Hey, don't you have a spare?
Forget the plunger. I'm gonna need a 90-foot plumber snake with a 3-horsepower engine. Or the cheese is gonna slide right off the cracker.
How is this a real show? So Phil has to rush home to get some heavy-duty plumbing equipment. While this is all happening, Phil's sister is trying to make some food for Unification Day.
Pim, you just earned yourself some time in front of that old boob tube.
The what? Now, when Phil gets home, his dad is there being sad and mopey because he wants to play laser squash, but of course, everyone else is too busy with all their 2004 shenanigans like low-rise jeans or quoting every single joke from Napoleon Dynamite. And so Phil decides to put a pause on the Mount Vesuvius problem and hang out with his dad.
Could play a game of laser squash.
Really? Are you sure you're not too old to play?
Oh, come on, you're just saying that because afraid of the old crop duster, huh?
The what? Yes, I am. Keep that away from me. And so in the end, Phil decides to stay home that night to hang out with his family for this important day that hasn't actually happened yet. And Keely decides to join because she's a good friend. Now, skipping all the way ahead to the end of the show, 2005, the final episode of Phil of the Future.
In the category of funniest student in a classroom or hallway, the winner is Donnie Ron Con Camo. Congratulations, Donnie. In other categories, best dressed, Archer Slickman.
Most likely to be in and out of rehab, Rebecca Sorensen. I'm not like other girls, I'm worse. Best example of peaking in high school, Jackson Murphy. Hey, remember the good old days? Guy who only got laid because he's really tall, Parker Johnston. I'll never have to develop a personality for the rest of my life.
Cutest couple, Keely Teslo and Phil Diffie. What the?
So because everyone voted them as cutest couple, even though they've been just friends this entire show, they decide like, hey, what if we were a couple?
Cutest couple? Do kind of hang out a lot.
So someone could, mistakenly think that we are. Unless, do you want to be a couple?
No.
No.
Do you?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
I do.
Me too.
Oh, if only it was that easy. Man, 2004, you could just be a couple instead of every conversation being like, yeah, I don't want to like label it or anything, so let's just like vibe or whatever.
Well, we could hold hands, while we walk to class.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Here, I'll go over, if you, the around. Don't pull my finger.
What? So they want to kiss each other, if you can believe that, but they don't want to do it in front of everyone, and they're so nervous about finally kissing that things are just way too awkward. But now Phil sees Keely in a very different way. Hey man, I get it. That's exactly what watching this show was like for me when I was 15. This show was like a perfect self-insert for me, okay? Because I mean, Phil has dark hair, I have dark hair, Phil has an absurdly chiseled jawline, I look inbred. The show's basically about me. Also, shout out to Short King Phil here, okay? Pulling this girl who's like 8 feet taller than him. Absolute legend, this man. So the other plot thread here is that finally, the time machine gets fixed, and they can all go back home to 2121. Except, as you may recall from like 30 seconds ago, Phil and Keely are finally a couple now, so what's a guy to do? Wait, I'm sorry. What was up with the whole, like, long shirt pulled all the way down look from the 2000s? Like, what the heck was this? Who thought this was a good idea?
I don't know how to tell you this, so I'm just gonna say it. My dad fixed the time machine and we're going home.
When are you leaving?
Tomorrow morning at 8:30.
Phil, we finally get to be a couple, and then, like, a day later you're leaving?
Oh, really? I tell you that I like you, and then your dad fixes his time machine, and now you have to go back to the future, so we have to break up? Yeah, okay, totally haven't heard that one before. And so finally, without ever actually getting that kiss, Phil and his family load into their time machine RV, Phil's sister just casually stealing the Mona Lisa, as you do, and they take off. Now, originally, Keely didn't want to see him go because it would be like too sad and painful, but she comes to regret this and tries to make it in time, but then she's like 2 seconds too late. Phil also regrets not getting that kiss or telling Keely how he really feels, so he makes his family go back in time to earlier that day so he can make things right.
You're still here. Does that mean you're not going?
No, I'm still going.
Oh.
I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye for real.
Then, good.
And then Phil and his family set off once again for the future, except no they don't, because they totally forgot about Curtis. Oh yeah, sorry. So this is the caveman they found back at the beginning of the show, who was like in their house, and then they end up just deciding to like make him their pet and have him live in their garage. You know, it's kind of a running theme when I do these kinds of videos, but this time I really mean it. What in the gosh darn hook even was this show? How did I not realize how insane this was? Man, there was just no cops back then on Disney Channel. The inmates were running that asylum. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please watch another one, because that's how the algorithm works. So click on this one that's being recommended to you right now, right here on the screen. It actually helps a lot if you do that, because like that's how YouTube knows that my videos are worth caring about. Also, if you have any movies or TV shows you'd like to recommend, send me an email at alexmeyerscontact@gmail.com, and I'll put them on my absurdly long list of movies that I need to get to at some point. Anyway, hope I made your day a little bit better, and I'll see you all next time.